Alright folks, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, you can see I'm sitting out here on a log. One of my last videos when I went and met up with Mr. Carter, one of the biggest key takeaways that I learned from him, gotta keep my eyes out, I am out here hog hunting, but one of the biggest key takeaways I got from him was taking plenty of breaks. You know, walk a mile or so, find you a tree to sit down on, sit and take a break. Just slow down, take more breaks. Before, I used to just bust through the woods and I'd walk 5 miles without stopping. And, you know, only just stop long enough to reach in my backpack, grab some water and get back to going. But after last weekend, when I went over there, and after that 5.5 mile walk I did with him, my legs and feet didn't hurt nowhere near as bad. So that was one of the main things that I took away from last weekend's hunt. But I have a comment generator thing that I've hooked up to my YouTube. I'm gonna mash the button here and it's gonna randomly pick some comments, and I'm gonna do like a rapid answer, whatever you want to call it, you know. And because there's a lot of comments. If it requires a big lengthy paragraph to answer, you know, and a lot of times I just hit the like button or something like that, you know, and I try to respond to all the comments. But well, let's hit the button. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it on my phone here, but I'm gonna read the question. I'm gonna show it up on the screen here, but I'm also gonna block out, you know, and crop it out to where you can't see who asked it or nothing like that. But well, let's do the question number 1. I already know which one this one wasn't too long ago. It says, so I'm just a guy on the internet, but I shoot at a pretty high level. You seem way overbowed, you aren't getting your elbow in alignment, and you're plucking pretty bad. There will undoubtedly be good days where your body compensates for this, but it always feels like an uphill battle until you shoot with alignment. Look, you lost me as soon as you said you shoot at a high level. I don't care if you shoot at, you could have 20 world championship tournaments. I don't care. I can care less about any kind of target archer. My goal is to get out here and put an arrow through a rib cage of a deer or a hog. Yes, you gotta have all the alignment. You gotta have all the other stuff. But I heard Mr. Beckham say not too long ago, it was one of his recent videos, if you get close to them, you don't have to shoot like Howard Hill. So that's why I limit myself to 15 yards. Hey, I'm proud of you for shooting at a high level. Let's hit the button, get the next one. Never use leather on your shelf. Always use the fuzzy side of the Velcro and cut it to fit it. Look, I know what you're talking about. I get it, I understand it, but if you're not supposed to use leather, see if we can get it to focus. You see that? That's a piece of gator hide on that shelf. Next question. Native Americans didn't have rain gear. You'll be alright. I know which one this one is too. I guess this person didn't realize when I said in that video, you know, when I was walking out and I was like, man, I didn't bring no rain gear or nothing. It looks like it's about to rain. When you got $2,500, $3,000. Some of these guys that's walking around with $5,000 worth of camera gear that you don't want to get wet. And that's what I mean. I ain't got my rain gear. I don't want this camera right here to get wet and be destroyed. It has nothing to do with me. Alright, here's the next question. This one's kind of, or not a question, it's a comment, but this one's kind of long. Traditional or not, you knew that deer was too far past your shooting lane. You let your emotions get the best of you. Don't know what ends up happening at this point, but that deer is suffering because of what happened. There's a lot more animals suffering because of a lot of idiots want to be bow hunters. They can't hardly shoot a water gun, much less a bow. It's unfortunate, and I'll probably catch, I almost said it. I'll probably catch hell for saying what I've said. But there's one solid point in this whole thing. IDGAF. As soon as you said that, you lost me. If you have to use profanity to get your point across, your point is weak. In my opinion, it is very, very weak. And not to mention, if you had the brains of an adult instead of a 3-year-old, you would understand that when a camera's sitting off to you 3 to 4 foot to the side over here, or at least 3 foot to the side, that you're not looking at the same angle that I'm looking at. And if you had finished watching the video, you'd have seen the deer didn't suffer. He died and I recovered him. This one here. I just think whatever you get, I just think whenever you gotta pay $100 plus for a quiver, that just takes the fun. Okay, this guy right here's, I'm bad country as it is, and I have a hard time reading and writing and spitting words out of my mouth, but this guy right here has got it way worse than I do. And I'm gonna slow down and read. I just think whenever you gotta pay $100 plus for a quiver, that just takes too fun out of archery. I conceive $30, $52, $50 about $100 plus. No, I have no idea what you're talking about, dude. Next one. What pack are you running? This right here. Well, I ain't gonna take it off, but it's the Mystery Ranch Pop-Up 28. They got a few different versions of it, and I got the smallest one because I'm down here in the south. I don't need no big pack that I can carry enough stuff to stay out in the woods for a month. So I just got and it works perfect for carrying tree stands, saddles, and all my camera gear, and packing out deer. Next one. I don't understand why you don't have way more subscribers. I always get excited when I see you post hog hunts. Well, I appreciate that, and unfortunately, if you go through a lot of your big YouTube channels and go back to when they first started and stuff like that, you know, and don't get me wrong, there is tons of them out there that do it the right way. But here in the past 5 to 10 years, or I just say the last 5 years, I noticed a lot of these big channels got big because they happened to post a video of their girlfriend or wife or whatever, and that one video got them a bunch of views because she was half naked or wearing shirts with no bras up underneath them and all this other crazy stuff. And once they figured that out, if you go through their channel and look, there is they'll post regular videos. About every 5th or 6th video, they'll have one with them on the thumbnail with their boobs half hanging out of their shirts or whatever the case may be. I've noticed it's getting bad. And I'm I'm just one fella. I do this thing by myself. I work on this thing by myself. I make all these videos by myself, and I post them by myself. And do I want this channel to get big? Yes, because that means I'm reaching out to people and helping people. But is it gonna break my heart if it don't get big? No. I enjoy filming, and the little community I got. I have an awesome community, and we talk every video. I appreciate every one of y'all. This one here, I remember this one. I had to translate it because I guess it was in Spanish or something like that, I don't know. But it was on the last hog hunt video that I did with my kids. Teach your children to do good to animals and not to harm them. I'm going, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's Acts 10:13. God tells Peter to rise, kill, and eat. That's what I teach my kids to do. You rise, get out in the woods, kill the animals, we eat the animals. That's all I got to say about that. If you don't like it, don't watch my channel. This one here says, your channel has quickly become one of my favorites to watch on YouTube. Well, I really do appreciate that. And I hope everybody enjoys my videos, you know, and it really does take a lot of work. You can ask some of your bigger channels. You can ask Jason. Jason, because of how much work it goes behind putting these videos together, he don't put none of his hog hunts and stuff on YouTube. You have to pay for them. And it's because of how much work it takes to film. And he just uses, for the most part, uses his phone and a GoPro. This camera I got right here, it's a whole different ball game. You know, and everything that I have to do, everything automatic or manual. Like I have to focus it, I have to zoom it, I have to keep it from getting blowed out, which you'll see some videos where I don't have time to do that, and it looks retarded, but it is what it is. And I have a certain way I like my videos to look, and that's why I still use this big camera instead of doing like most people nowadays and grabbing a GoPro or something like that. Which I done sold all my GoPros and gave one of them away. But I do appreciate you for the kind words. Alright, next one. Can you do a catch and cook different was to cook wild, different, I'm sure it's supposed to say ways, different ways to cook wild hog? I can, but unfortunately, I have a little one at the house that's very picky about hogs, or meat in general. And so I have to pick and choose what hogs I use for home consumption. If I shoot one that's not all stinky, bory, not a big bore, 9 out of 10 times we make just breakfast sausage out of every bit of it. Because she loves breakfast sausage. So that's mainly what I do with most of the hog meat. But if I kill one that's a big old stinky boar hog, I pack it up, take it home, and I bag it in Dollar General bags, and then I put them in the freezer, the quarters, in separate bags. And then for the next 5-6 days, however many quarters you end up with, or however much meat you got, you know, and I'll take a quarter out each day and go out whenever I get home from work. I'll pull it out frozen. I got a big pot that I boil my deer heads and stuff in, and I put it on the outside burner, and I will burn it and get it nice and let it boil for about 2 hours, and I give it to my dogs. They love it. They'll sit out there and chew on them bones for 2 or 3 days. So a good sized boar hog will last me feeding the dogs. I can feed the dogs all week on it. So that's mainly what I do with these wild hogs. I'm fastly losing light, y'all. We'll do a few more. What state park is that? That's one of the craziest questions people always ask, is like, what area is you at? I'm not going to answer that, obviously. I mean, The next one's the same. What state park is this? I get that question a lot. Obviously, I'm in Georgia, and there's only 5, 6, 7 state parks that do hunts, so it ain't hard to figure it out. Just pick one and go to it. Here goes another one. Where is this exactly at? I need some hog hunting spots that aren't on private property. Dude, I'm not just gonna give you the answers to what you're looking for, you know, and there's public land all over Georgia. There's public land everywhere. Just go find you a piece of public land and go walk it and find you a hog. I mean, that's the only thing I can say. But I think that'll be enough for now. Maybe we'll do this again. Let the comments build up some more. I do appreciate each and every one of y'all. Hopefully, I answered some of y'all's questions. Most of them was daggum people talking crap on here, but YouTube must be pushing that stuff. But either way, I said I overwhelmingly get positive comments. You know, every so often you get some crazy off the wall stuff, but I say I appreciate everybody. We're fixing to get back out of here. I got about another 1.5 mile walk to get back to the car, so I'm gonna get walking now that I've taken this break here. Maybe we can sneak up on some hogs on the way out of here. Hey, we appreciate y'all watching. Stay tuned. We'll catch you on the next video.